Recently, a client approached me with a really interesting idea for an art piece that they wanted to give their sister, who works as an anesthetist.
Anesthetist.
What? Basically, they're an anesthesiologist. He wanted the piece to visually represent the weight, responsibility, and the unique challenges that she faces every day. Someone who literally puts people to sleep and brings them back, administering a controlled state of consciousness. I started by sketching the connection between the clinician and the patient on my iPad and built the composition from there. On one hand, the patient is unaware, drifting between consciousness and nothingness. But for the anesthesiologist, it's a very different experience. They're tasked with carefully keeping someone balanced between life and death, holding the patient in that fragile space where their body rests, but their existence depends entirely on someone else's control. I could only imagine how heavy the responsibility must feel, and how over time you might have to mentally disconnect just to handle that weight. In a way, it seems like the clinician loses a small part of themselves in order to become the tether between the present world and the unknown. This piece is meant to explore that dynamic, the patient's subconscious state, the razor-thin balance of life and death, and the anesthetist's own internal world as they navigate it. The final artwork turned out to be a lot more intense than I originally expected, but the client loved how much emotion and symbolism ended up in the piece. That being said, I'd love to hear what you see in it. What do you think makes this piece so powerful? As much as I could carefully plan a composition or obsess over detail, sometimes the most meaningful parts are what the viewer finds in it for themselves.